These are Mustang grapes. They grow up in the tops of trees. Ours is on an arbor. And they make really, really good jam. And they make a decent wine. You have to play around with the acidity a little bit. But they're pretty good to go. And if you can see, these are fairly low to the ground and easy to pick. Okay. The key to putting on these kind of gloves is not to have dry hands, it's to have wet hands. Because dry hands just make it sticky. You blow them out, get your hand nice and wet, and then stick your fingers in there. Once you get your fingers in there, you can start here, and basically you're just, squishing all the air out. Once you've got that done, voila, you are ready to go pick Mustang grapes. Just wanted to show you guys this. This is what it means by handmade grape jelly. Every single grape is hand squeezed, pulped, and picked over by me. I sit out on the porch and I listen to all kinds of things, but every single one of them is hand done. We're all done, finished processing. This is what we're left with. Skins over here, and possibly the world's ugliest processed fruit, Mustang grapes over here. This has the seeds. We're going to be putting it through a chinois later on after it's cooked down. These should have no seeds in them, should be just skins. And we're going to cook them down and hit them with a stick blender to turn them into a lovely pureed consomme sort of thing that we'll be adding the strained pulp to this, and then that's what we make our jelly out of, and I'll talk to you later about that. Okay, how do you take care of your arms once you finish with this? Glass cleaner. The Greeks are right. Use glass cleaner all the way up to your elbows. Rub it in, rinse it off, and then go put some sort of Caladryl or something on it. You need to, because otherwise you'll be itching. Okay, here's what you're going to need for the next part. Some kind of wooden spoon. Here's our skins. Here's our ugly ass pulp. This is about, medium to medium high. And we're going to get them started and run them about 20 minutes. And then this one, the pulp, is going to be turned way down to simmer and run another 20 minutes. And this is the wine I use. It's a sweet Marsala from Italy. I only use Italian Marsalas. And I don't know, glug, 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 glug. Glug, 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 glug. Maybe, half a cup, give or take. And then this, you're going to have to be continually messing with this because there's not a whole lot of water in this, and you want to keep it kind of stirred up from the bottom because otherwise it will stick and burn and you will not like it. This, you can kind of let it go by itself. Both of them, though, need lids. Lid for this one. Lid for this one. Maybe turn down the heat to about like so. And then go get yourself a beer or a Coke or something and be prepared to stick your spatula in there and stir it every now and then. 20 minutes. Okay, right now, this is what the skins of the grapes look like. over here, this is finished cooking. I cooked it for about 20 minutes on medium and then another 10 on low. And now it's turned off and it's going to continue to cook. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take our stick blender, voila, and puree these grapes until they are the consistency of, well, I don't know, jam. Back with you when I'm done. Okay, we're about ready. Tip 1, run it on high speed. And tip number 2, don't pick it up out of there because this stuff is about the temperature of lava and it will burn you. Run it until it looks, I don't know, about like so. Give or take. Okay, this is a chinois. Sometimes you'll have somebody say, oh, that's a China hat. Yes, it's a China hat. Chinois is more like a sieve or a strainer with a weird conical shape. It's named that because it looks like a Chinese hat. And what we're going to do with our chinois is we're going to pour our pulp into it. Okay, we've got some of it done. I don't do it all at the same time because it's really, there's really a lot of it. This is the pestle that goes with the chinois, and you just kind of sit there and work it down. I'm trying to do this one-handed. You'll see all the seeds kind of coming up. Basically, and the other stuff is coming out the bottom and into there. So you keep on going until you have nothing but seeds in the chinois. And this is what it looks like after maybe 5 minutes or so of kind of up and down and running the pestle side to side, wiggling it side to side, pushing it up and down. Seeds come out. Okay, here we have a really large pot of water on high. As you can see, it's boiling or close to boiling. And what you use that for, the first thing you do is whatever jars you have come up with, you sterilize them. Throw it in there, leave them for about 3 or 4 minutes, take them out, put them upside down, and hang on to them there. Okay? Later on, we'll be processing our canned stuff in jars. We'll be putting it back in there and leaving it for 5 minutes. This is 8 cups of processed fruit and 8 cups of sugar. Usually I use raw sugar, but I was feeling cheap, so regular sugar. And you let that come to a rolling boil. And that's a boil that you can't stir down. And once it does that, you put in 1 pouch. Where is it? One pouch of this certo stuff. One pouch will make 2 quarts. And you're going to put that in, bring it back up to a boil, cook it for 1 minute, and then turn it off and ladle it into jars and put the lids on and tighten them up and put them back in here to process for 5 minutes. Okay, for those of you guys who are wondering what a rolling boil looks like, it's boiling. But if you stir it, and it stops boiling while you're stirring it, it's not a rolling boil. Okay, I think we've achieved rolling boil. So I'm stirring it down, and you'll notice that right behind my stirrer, bubbles are still coming up. That's a rolling boil. See? So what I do is, I'm going to count to 60. 22, 23, 24. I want you to make sure that you don't stop stirring when you're counting down. I've already added the certo, and I stir for 1 more minute more. 45, 46. Okay, here's where the fun stuff comes in. You have to fill each one of these jars, and you fill it up to right, pretty much the neck. I'm going to just hold this here, kind of let you see what I'm doing here. In case you're wondering, where do I get stuff like this little canny thing? This little old-fashioned sort of thing. I got it from my grandmother. So anyway, about to there. Then you just pick it up and move it over to the next one and fill the next one. And once we're done, we'll put the lids on. Well, I had to sterilize one more jar, so just show you how you put it. Just drop it into the water and then let it sit there for a minute or so, and then you fish it out. Try not to pour it on yourself. Use a pair of long tongs to get the band and the lid out. And that's how you sterilize. Everything's ready to go in for processing. I took and tightened the lids. Oh, you got to hold the jar with a pot holder and tighten the lid with the other pot holder, because otherwise you'll burn your hands. Because the stuff inside the jars is like lava. We're going to put this down in here and we're going to wait 5 minutes. Okay, when you put it in, if the lids are sticking up a little bit above the surface, that's okay. If they're way above the surface, lay them down so that they're completely covered. So, yay. Okay, a word about cleanup. I have commercial equipment, as you can see. I have a stove that is pretty tough. I probably need to clean the top of it, but I'm telling you, if you have a sink and all your equipment, clean those ASAP, please, including these rather expensive Cutco scissors. I'm not saying that it'll stain it, but if it's low quality stuff, it will stain it. Cutco scissors come to pieces. So, now as for the kitchen sink, I always try to wash that up right away. Not that it will stain or anything, because it's a commercial kitchen sink and it would probably outlast the thermonuclear weapon. However, I don't like stains that much. I don't mind a little character, but go ahead and clean it up. And as for the top of my stove, I'm going to clean that up too. Okay, and we are done. All you have to do is take this handy dandy little thing, which you can get at a canning supply place, and just take them out one by one, set them here, and then you're going to retighten the lids, holding on to them, holding them down, and then retighten the lids really hard, and let them cool. Next.